Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Live with New Insight, and thank you so much for joining me in another video. The title of today's video is Just Because You Could Doesn't Mean You Should. This video is dedicated to all of those who have kind, caring, compassionate, and empathetic hearts. People who are people pleasers, those who sacrifice to their own detriment, always going the extra mile just to see someone else smile and be good. And these are very good and fine qualities and strengths to be a person who can give and receive healthy love, be kind, patient, loving, loyal, a person of honor and integrity, and a person who is a doer, giver, who sacrifices for others, and who is always going that extra mile to do their best and to be their best. However, as I have stated frequently in previous videos, we must be selective and protective of these fine, good qualities and strengths, because these are the same qualities that, without boundaries, without limits, can be self-defeating or work against us. So why do I say just because we could doesn't mean we should? A few things, a few reasons. We tend to give to undeserving people who will use, abuse, and take advantage of us. We tend to give what we don't really have. Or we tend to give and never replenish or recharge or care for ourselves. We give out of fear, obligation, or guilt, feeling sorry for someone, thinking we can fix them or be their rescuer. And we tend to give and please and prove, trying to prove a point to others and even to ourselves sometimes that we're adequate enough, capable enough, smart enough, loving enough, whatever the case may be. And many of us, through culture, religion, and upbringing, have been taught that this is normal. It's normal to give what we don't have. It's normal to give to undeserving people and to not set boundaries. So we see it as the norm and we deem it wrong if we go against this. However, this is absolutely not true. You may feel wrong, but you are not wrong. And we have to be mindful to discern facts from feelings. Feelings matter and are always valid. However, they cannot be the driver of logical and wise decision making, nor can emotions or ego. For many, when they think of ego, they think of someone being arrogant, cocky, selfish, like a narcissistic trait. So they don't really connect with the other meaning of ego. We can also have ego when we have good intentions. It doesn't have to be that you're mean or malicious and purposefully being manipulative, because you're doing something kind or you may be genuine in your intention. However, the motive can be selfish, and that could cause issues in a relationship. For example, let's say you do something nice and thoughtful, but your primary reason for doing so is for recognition, compliments, or praise. Or let's say you know a person isn't good for you, whether it's a friend or partner, but you remain in the relationship because you've invested too much, or because you don't want to see them be with anyone else, or you don't want to be labeled as a quitter or having a quote-unquote failed relationship. Or the relationship could be with a toxic friend and you remain in the relationship because, for example, you've known each other since kindergarten, or your families may know each other, or because you don't want to be lonely with no one to hang out with or go out with. We have to check our intentions, our motives, and stop doing things out of fear, obligation, guilt, or for external validation, or to prove something, even to ourselves. Now, motivation matters because it reveals intention. And as previously stated, with the above examples, a gesture can be nice, but the intention can be selfish. And in relationships, someone can do a nice thing, for example, to ease their own guilty conscience, or to help them sleep better, to help them get approval from others, or approval from you, or certain things from you. or to stroke their ego. And these seemingly nice gestures may help them, but it could be damaging for the other person. So always get in the habit of checking intentions and motives of others and your own intentions and motives as well. And we do this by asking questions, not allowing ego and emotions and impulsivity to override our logical thinking, and through self-examination. Get in the habit of self-reflection, doing self-reflection. Just stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I trying to achieve or accomplish? What do I want to get out of this? What am I trying to gain? What's my motivation? And again, this doesn't mean that you have to be suspicious and question everyone's motives, and you can't be trusting or loving and do nice things. But we have to do nice things with limits, and we have to prioritize ourselves and not give what we don't have, or give to the point of putting our own selves in a deficit, mentally, emotionally, financially, and so on. And especially don't make this a regular occurrence. And definitely don't do it for users and toxic people. Be honest, genuine, and authentic. Don't do things for show, for the spotlight, for accolades, external validation, or to make yourself appear a certain way. When you're true to yourself, true to who you are, that will reflect in your mindset, your attitude, and your actions. You don't have to make a public announcement or public display any grand gestures. And this doesn't mean external validation is wrong and we shouldn't seek it or rely on it, because we all do. What this does mean, however, is not to become hyper-focused or over-dependent on external validation, and to be able to affirm and validate ourselves first and foremost, and so that we don't allow external validation to make or break us. And definitely set your boundaries. Challenge and change or reframe any thoughts that try to make you feel guilty for speaking your mind, saying no, prioritizing yourself, taking care of yourself, and setting boundaries. When you lack boundaries, when you're a people pleaser, when you never fill your own cup or take care of yourself, when you're always overcompensating, this elevates your anxiety and stress and wears your mental down. And it automatically calls you to start abandoning yourself, which is something you should never do. You don't get to be yourself or be who you are because all of your time, energy, and focus is being consumed by others and doing and being who they want, what they need, and what they expect you to be. So be assertive, speak up for yourself, set limits by setting and maintaining healthy interpersonal boundaries. And remember, just because you could doesn't mean that you should. I hope this helps. Please leave your questions and comments down below, and we will talk soon.